As Biden continues to struggle with Democratic voters, several new polls show Trump leading nationally. Let's take a closer look.
I mean, you know what? They're too big to ignore. And the margin, obviously, it was in the margin of error. Nothing's insurmountable a year out.
Yeah, so if the election were held today, it's showing that Joe Biden would only get 44%, but Donald Trump is still at 46%, right. Brian. This is a drop from that 51%, and that's NBC.
And NBC, he's never been leading in the NBC poll. And we'll break it down. You'll see the battleground states. Among voters 18 to 34, usually bad news for a Republican nominee, even if it's younger than Donald Trump. Not bad news right now. And that has a lot to do with this Israeli-Hamas war. The president's on the right side of this, but a third of his party is for the Palestinian Hamas cause, which is more than a little scary. Remember what happened at the DNC headquarters a couple of days ago? They hurt 6 cops raiding the DNC headquarters full of Democrats, and these are left-wing Democrats attacking Democrats, hurting police officers.
So, Brian, as you said, it's the war, but it's also being let down when it comes to the student loans. He said he was going to forgive them. He went through the process. It was illegal. The Supreme Court said you can't do that. Voters are holding him accountable.
And by the way, the student loan thing is a big farce because you alienate a ton of people who got into the trades or paid off their loans or went a different direction. Why are you paying off other people's loans in just one age bracket? This is the key. Independence. It's the only portion of the electorate that keeps growing. Independence. And look at this.
Only 30%.
Disapproval, 63%. All right.
These are the people that got him elected, by the way, and he's lost them. Let's go to the New York Times. Now, in Nevada, swing state, up by 10 points. Donald Trump is. Michigan, up by 5.
Can I just stop here a second?
Ahead.
This is going to be key because abortion is going to be on the ballot in Nevada. That could be the balancing point. But the fact that Trump is up by 10 there is significant. It shows he has a little bit of room.
Well, and to your point, Brian, Donald Trump has a little bit of a different message than the other candidates have been running on abortion. He's saying, look, you got to be realistic here. You got to get voters there. Passing national bans just isn't going to work.
Jim Crow 2.0, right? The people of Georgia know better. Stacey Abrams is not the governor. Kemp trounced her. And Trump's now leading by 6, despite being sued by the district attorney there, because evidently he wasn't happy with that turnout. I heard he had a problem with the last election. We're going to follow up on that story.
Real quickly, Brian, the issue that got Donald Trump elected the first time, he's leading on that issue by 12 points. And then on the national stage, with everything that's going on, 12 points there as well.
Right. And you see what he said, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He's all in for Israel. He's starting to pull back on that a little bit. But the fact that he's all in for Israel, alienating other people, national security, Trump is trouncing big time. On immigration, I thought it would be even more. So let's look at the last poll.
Yeah, so if the election were held today in a head-to-head, you got Donald Trump at 49%, Biden at 45%.
How much you think CNN hated to see this gap because they had to spend all their time saying, well, Joe Biden is old. Maybe we should get a new candidate.
And that's an increase from the 46%. So that's good for Donald Trump.
Nikki Haley consistently does slightly better than Donald Trump head-to-head with Joe Biden. They are beginning to attack Nikki Haley just in case she ends up finding a way to surge past President Trump and be the nominee.
And finally, when you get to Ron DeSantis against the president, you're at 48%. The American people are saying any Republican but Joe.
Right. Ron DeSantis again. They thought he was going to be the number one guy. He's still very much in contention. They're going after him whenever they can, and they keep on bringing up the 6-week abortion ban in Florida.
So the big question is, Brian, all these Republican candidates have said Donald Trump can't be elected. This is the one thing. We like his policies, but he just can't win. It looks like that argument is being taken away.
It is. It's going to be very hard to make it. But as Lawrence and I just showed you, the president's dealing with a deficit at this moment. I'd like to tell you with the rest of the things I have to say, but I'm just at a loss for words.